Lawmakers in Texas have approved a new electoral district map that favors the Republican Party.
88 ayes, 52 nays. House Bill 4 passes to engrossment.
The new map jeopardizes 5 Democratic-held seats while giving Republicans a leg up in next year's midterms. It is now set to go to the state Senate. This all followed a 2-week walkout by Texas Democrats who left the state to delay the vote. When those Democrats returned, Republican representatives enacted rules that lawmakers must sign permission slips in order to leave the Capitol building, and that they must be escorted by police officers when not in the building. So, how are Texas Democrats responding to this? Mihaela Plesa is a member of the Texas House of Representatives, and she joins me now. Welcome. Now, you joined fellow Democratic Representative Nicole Collier in her sit-in protest by tearing up the permission slip that was given to you. Was that more than just a symbolic move for you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Karina. Look, what Representative Collier did was the right thing. Her instincts were right. We should have never signed those permission slips to be escorted by the Department of Public Safety everywhere. We were followed to the grocery store to buy toothbrushes. If we wanted to go on a walk, they were following us on the walk. It should have never happened, and that's why I tore it up. Because I was using my constitutional given right as a member of the minority party to break quorum to prevent this unconstitutional vote.
And now you gave a little sense of what was happening in terms of security following you around, but can you describe for us a little bit more what it's been like at the Capitol building under these new rules and painting us a picture of sort of what that resulted in for example, your colleague Collier, but what you guys have done in reaction?
Well, the Speaker of the House, in order to try to maintain quorum, literally put out civil arrest warrants for us. And so we knew that once we returned to Texas, that we were going to be taken into the halls of our representative, the House of Representatives, and they were going to lock the doors. What we didn't know is that they were going to make us sign these slips to release us into the custody of DPS. And so when that happened, Nicole refused to sign it because she knew that she hadn't committed a crime. We kind of in the chaos of it all signed them. And when I got home, I realized I have this DPS officer following me around. Look, it was taxpayer-sponsored surveillance, but what was even worse is that in order for these DPS officers to follow us, they had to be taken off the beat. My DPS officer was taken off of financial crimes to just follow me around and sleep in their car outside my apartment in the middle of the night. And I just thought that was, one, financially irresponsible, but also illegal, and we shouldn't have ever had to sign those forms.
Now, you've called the Republicans' redistricting map racially gerrymandered. What did you mean by that?
Well, in the United States, under the Voting Rights Act of 1965, what we've seen is that political gerrymandering, drawing these maps for political gain, is actually legal in the United States, and it's legal in Texas. But what is not legal is racial gerrymandering, picking your communities and cracking and packing them so that you're picking your voters. And what we've seen with these 5 maps that Donald Trump has asked our governor to pass, what we've seen with them is that they've used AI technology to redraw these maps and find low propensity voters and high propensity voters. These happen to be people of color, Latinos, African Americans, and they've crammed them in with high propensity Anglo voters, making it a racially gerrymandered map illegal under the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
What do you think will happen if the Republicans are successful in their redistricting plans in Texas?
Well, I think that when our Constitution was signed, they said, what kind of government do we have? And what we heard was a republic, if you can keep it. And I think that most Americans forget that last part. We have to fight to keep this republic and keep this experiment in democracy alive. And look, we have a president that thinks that he is king. He thinks he can carve up countries like Ukraine. He thinks he can buy countries or take over countries like Canada. And he thinks that he can chop up communities like mine in Texas. And it's wrong. it's unconstitutional, and we're going to fight back. And if that means California has to draw their maps to pick up 5 seats, we're going to do it. Because now that Texas has passed this unconstitutional racial map, Donald Trump has literally put out a tweet saying he's going to try to get 100 new seats in the U.S. Congress. And so we have to fight back against that.
So you did mention the California effort that is mimicking, but from the Democrats, mimicking what the Republicans have done. You mentioned fighting. Ultimately, is this where this is headed? Is it headed to the courts?
That's why we had to come back to the House floor, because our next battle is going to be in the courts, and we feel very good about the legal framework that we laid out yesterday on the House floor. And we also feel very good because we know that this map is going to land in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And they have just ruled on 2 other unconstitutional maps, one out of Mississippi and one out of Louisiana. And we believe that Texas is also going to be struck down. But if that doesn't happen, we are ready to take the battle to the ballot box. We're already registering voters, educating them, and making sure that they know that their power is much more powerful than any politicians.
Very quickly, you have said that by walking out, although now you're back, Texas Democrats started a nationwide movement. But what specifically do you think Texas Democrats have accomplished?
Well, first, we killed the first called special session by the governor that was a sham and put Trump over Texans. That's a win. Second, we got California involved, we got New Mexico involved, New York, and so many other states involved, woken up and ready to fight back against this tyrant that we have in the White House. But also, we've educated our communities. They don't believe that they believe that it's imperative to get off the sidelines, and they are going to get involved. They're going to get organized, and we're going to fight back, and we're going to turn America back into the country that we know it is, one that believes in freedom, one that believes in democracy, and one that works for the people, not crooked cronies in D.C. that want to do power grabs.
Well, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again and getting an update on how everything's going. Thank you very much, Mihaela Plesa.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.